Welcome to Moana's Meadow Report. Today is August 30th, 2018, Thursday. My name is Moana, and a Meadow Report is just a report of how my day was. And I just try my best to keep it between 6 and 13 minutes. Now, I also do my best to address where we're at with the Dave Ramsey program. So, right now where we're at is we're just in a holding period or just waiting time frame till we get paid next, so we could get that starter emergency fund of the baby step number 1 of $1,000 fully funded to that $1,000. Right now we're 900 out of 1,000, which is great because I like to go online and look at the account and go, yes, every time I look at my money market account and it tells me how much is in there. It feels really fantastic. And literally only $100 more until we could get to that 1,000. So that's going to be such a relief. And I'm proud that we haven't dipped into it. We're getting more disciplined in that aspect. And the 4 walls, transportation, shelter, utilities, and food and clothing. So I discussed the utilities, how we were able to get that down drastically because we went from a house down to a duplex. We were renting the house and we're renting this duplex. So, but the utilities, apparently I had no clue how much we were paying and how much of a drastic effect I can make personally on making that bill lower, or all of those bills lower, just by virtue of being more aware. So one of those 4 walls we've been getting better at. It took 3 years. Whereas the shelter, when we lived 10 years in that house before we moved here to this duplex, we were great on our rent. In fact, our landlord was going to give us a raving or a radiant review to our new landlord we have currently before our old landlord passed, because he wanted to help us get to another location without any hitches. He was passing away from cancer and he wanted to sell the house. We did not have any money for down payment. We did not even, after 10 years of living there, I mean, it just felt like a good neighborhood. It felt like a nice house. The space that the cats were able to go roam, that was excellent for them. They stayed entertained. They were safe. But we had not thought about even starting to put money aside because we didn't know. We didn't know how to save money at all. And that's why we're struggling so much with this emergency fund and making it happen after 2.5 years of working on this. So by no fault of our own, but it's just like hindsight's 2020, and you're just like, oh, if only we had started saving up. But at least we have our priorities different now, and we will be able to start saving up once we get to once we finalize baby step number 2. So at least we'll be able to start baby step number 2 next month in September. It's going to be a meowsing. So, so shelter, transportation, and so aside from us not thinking to put money aside to buy the house that we were in, because the landlord wanted to sell it because he was dying, we were on time with our rent, and being in this duplex, we've been on time with our rent as well. So we always knew how important that was to stay on top of that particular payment. We just hadn't extended that discipline to other things, such as the utilities. And then the transportation, we didn't, we never had money aside to fix our car when we needed to fix it. I would constantly be asking for money from friends, co-workers for gas. I mean, it didn't feel good. I had 2 jobs. At one point, I had 3 jobs. My husband had 1 job, and then sometimes he'd do a side hustle on another job. And even after all of that hard work, we would still not have gas money. So in the past 2.5 years with all these changes, because we've been following the Dave Ramsey program, at least now, if the car breaks down, well, guess what? We're kind of bummed, but we have the money. We don't have to ask to borrow it from anyone to fix the car. We don't have to call my grandma. We don't have to, like, scramble and say, well, I guess we're not going to be able to pay the rent. Or, you know, we don't have to do all these things that we felt like we were in an endless cycle. I hate tags on shirts. It feels like we're in an endless cycle of not ever getting ahead and going, where did all of our money go? So 4 walls, let's see, utilities, shelter, transportation. So transportation we're getting great on. Then food and clothing. Again, like I said on my last video, I believe, food, we're getting really savvy and knowing what the prices are on things that we regularly purchase, and knowing when there's a great sale and just snatching it up as fast as possible. So we went back to the grocery store today, and so no luck on having a no spend day, and for the month of August. And I actually think tomorrow is going to be the last day of August, and I think we will not be able to reach that no spend goal that I have once a month, because I have a feeling something's going to come up. But fingers crossed on the no spend day goal. Yeah, there was a great deal on Sody Pop, so I went and snatched it up right away today. So that was good. I had today off. One of my issues that I have is cleaning, and it's like weird because it's just like, why is that so hard for me? How do I get better? What can motivate me? And a saying that I found on YouTube that Tom Bilyeu interviewed Jordan Harbinger. He said action and suffering. And for me, that just means I'm suffering so much. I've been making myself suffer by not being flexible in regards to how I clean the house. And one of the many ways that I'm very rigid about it is I don't allow my husband to clean. Another way that I'm super rigid on it is I have all these little weird rules. I'm like, well, I can't go and do this until I wash the dishes, but I can't wash the dishes until I get the special sponge that I need. And I can't get the special sponge that I need until I sweep the floor. And I can't sweep the floor until, like, I have all these weird lists that go on and on and on and on. So I'm trying to train myself to be less rigid, and basically I think I've been making enough small adjustments to help me realize, okay, this can be done. So aside from telling myself for the past 4 days, I believe, maybe just 3 days, action and suffering, because the suffering is me going, what's wrong with me? Why can't I clean? So then it's making me suffer. And, okay, action and suffering. And what was the other one I was thinking? Dang it. There was something that was good I was going to say. But I believe my time's just about up. So if you're struggling to clean your house the way I have been, if you're struggling to get your mindset switched in regards to money, if you're just wanting to give it a shot, or if you're already well disciplined in that area of your life, but you want to be disciplined in another area of your life, I just wish you the best of luck. I hope everything stays a meowsing for you. And meow.